I was the rising star at Quantum Solutions. Until Richard. He didn't just steal my project, he stole my future. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but for me, it became an obsession, a fever that burned away everything else. This is the story of the revenge plan that cost me my career, and why I willingly sacrificed everything just to see one man fall.
Aitza, I have to be honest. The board didn't respond well to your presentation. It's too aggressive, too ambitious. I'm going to have to rework the pitch entirely and present it myself.
But Richard, we spent 6 months on this data. This strategy is flawless. The only reason the board wouldn't like it is if they weren't given the full context.
Don't argue with me. You're junior, Aitza. You handle the administrative side. I handle the vision. Now, hand over the finalized presentation files.
I handed them over, naive and trusting. A week later, he was on every business news channel, taking all the credit for my revolutionary strategy. The board praised his genius. I confronted him, but he simply smiled.
Don't be dramatic, Aitza. I secured the client, didn't I? Think of this as a team effort. You'll get your bonus, eventually. Now, can you get me a coffee?
I felt sick. That was the moment I realized the bonus wasn't enough. Justice was the only currency I would accept. But I couldn't fight him from the outside. I needed access. I resigned the next day, making a loud, dramatic exit. I spent 3 months rebranding myself, studying Richard's weaknesses, and building an entirely new professional persona. I knew the company had an opening in the R&D department. It was lower pay, lower visibility, and far away from marketing. Perfect.
Miss Jensen, your background is certainly solid. Why the move from the fast-paced marketing world to our quieter R&D sector?
I'm looking for stability, Mr. Davis. I want to contribute quietly, away from the spotlight. I'm done chasing titles and headlines. I lied easily. I got the job. I was back inside. The cost was my entire marketing career and my reputation, but the payoff would be Richard's complete, humiliating downfall. My mission wasn't to compete, it was to dismantle. I was obsessed, and there was no turning back. I was now close enough to breathe his air, but invisible enough to strike from the shadows. The real work began. I was back inside the company, working just 2 floors below the man who destroyed me. But Richard isn't just a thief. He has a secret network of collaborators. What shocking discovery did I make during my first week that threatened to expose my entire revenge plan? Don't miss the next part, and please subscribe now to support our channel. The new identity, Sarah Jensen, felt like a cheap disguise. I hated the mundane R&D job, but proximity was power. My revenge plan required 2 things: 0 visibility for me and maximum vulnerability for Richard. I was hunting for the loose thread in his perfect, stolen tapestry of success.
You're the new R&D assistant, right? Sarah? Welcome to the Quiet Corner. We mostly deal with legacy code here. You won't see much excitement.
Suits me fine, Mark. I'm just looking for stability. And I'm trying to figure out how everything connects. The marketing success seems almost too perfect.
Too perfect is exactly right. Richard is brilliant at presenting, but he relies heavily on one specific piece of old analytics software. It's buggy and technically illegal for corporate use, but he swears by it. He calls it the Oracle.
The Oracle. That sounds risky. If the company were ever audited, they would find it. Why hasn't he updated to the legal platforms? This is the loose thread.
He believes his success is tied to it. He controls the entire input flow, and it gives him highly tailored but untraceable data. It's a massive vulnerability, but no one dares to challenge him. He's the star.
Mark, I need to look at the historical data reports from that Oracle software. Can you give me access to the old R&D server logs?
That's far outside your job description, Sarah. Why do you need those specific logs?
Look, Mark, I saw Richard take credit for my best friend's work at my old company. This man is a fraud. I'm trying to find proof that he's hurting this company too. I need those logs to protect Quantum Solutions from his reckless, illegal methods.
My friend was fired unfairly by Richard last month. I hate him too. Okay, I'll give you a temporary access key, but you have one night. If you're caught, I never met you.
The alliance was forged in mutual resentment. I knew the risk was immense, but I was now one step closer to the core of his deception. Tonight, I will download the history of the Oracle, and that data will be the final price of my revenge. I have the access key, but the illegal software is locked behind layers of proprietary security. What secret phrase did Richard use to protect his illicit data? And what shocking personal detail did I discover in those logs that changed my revenge plan from corporate sabotage to something much darker? Don't miss the next part, and make sure you subscribe now. The night I gained access to the Oracle was the night I crossed a point of no return. Revenge is usually about evening the score, but when you look into a man's hidden files, you find more than just professional crimes. I was there for data, but I found dirt. Ugly, personal dirt that changed the game entirely. The key is active, Sarah. Remember, one night only. The access is temporary, and the R&D server logs all usage. Be quick. Thank you, Mark. This is for justice, remember that? I'll make sure his illegal activities never hurt anyone else here. I logged in, bypassing the basic security. The login screen for the Oracle demanded a secret phrase. I tried everything, his mother's name, his dog's name, nothing. I was about to give up when I typed the name of his wife, Olivia. Access granted. Olivia. Why would he use her name? He barely talks about her. The software's history was a gold mine. Hundreds of instances where he used the Oracle to falsify client data, inflate project results, and steal credit. I downloaded everything. But then a separate folder caught my eye. Hidden. I shouldn't look. My revenge is professional. This is getting personal. My curiosity won. I opened it. It wasn't corporate data. It was a long thread of intimate communications and financial transfers to his personal assistant. Richard was not just stealing from the company. He was preparing to leave his wife and liquidate her entire separate investment portfolio. This is sick. Is he going to bankrupt his own wife? I was naive to think he only betrayed me. His entire life is a well-managed lie. I need you to finalize the offshore transfer tomorrow. I'm leaving Olivia next month. This is our ticket out, baby. The game had changed. My original plan was to leak the Oracle fraud to the board. That would ruin his career. But this was proof he was about to financially and emotionally destroy an innocent woman. I had the power to stop him, but dragging his wife into it felt like crossing a moral line. The board would fire him for the data theft, but Olivia would still be ruined. My sacrifice cost me my career, but I couldn't let him ruin a family just to protect my conscience. The real justice meant total exposure. I decided on a two-pronged attack: corporate exposure for his job and a private warning for Olivia. My professional revenge was about to turn into a moral crusade. I have the proof of corporate fraud and his personal betrayal, My revenge is ready. But how do I deliver the devastating evidence to his wife, Olivia, without exposing my own identity and my entire undercover mission? Don't miss the next part, and please subscribe now to keep the psychological thrills coming. The clock was ticking. I had enough professional evidence to destroy Richard's career, but the personal proof, the audio recording of his plan to bankrupt Olivia, was my moral duty. If he were allowed to leave the company before exposing his financial deceit, Olivia would still suffer. I had to warn her without becoming a target myself. I created an anonymous email account using a secure VPN and drafted a concise, factual message to Olivia. No emotion, just the raw data about the offshore transfer and the liquidation plan. Check the Cayman account transfer dated this week. Your husband is liquidating assets. Move your funds now. Richard immediately noticed the internal threat. The sudden security increase felt like a direct response to my accessing the Oracle. He was paranoid and desperate. Who accessed the R&D server logs last week? Find me the internal report now. Someone is trying to sabotage me. I am locking down all legacy files. Assistant, the logs only show a brief access by a low-level R&D assistant named Sarah Jensen. It's nothing. Sarah Jensen? That name means nothing. It's a placeholder. Find me the real person behind that login. My disguise was failing. Richard was close to finding Sarah. I had to execute the final career-destroying move immediately. The only way to ensure he didn't escape was to lure him to his most secretive location, the abandoned storage unit where he kept all his illegal backup documents. Isa needed to plant a diversion. I emailed the company board using a fake identity, claiming I had critical financial documents that exposed Richard's illegal practices, but only if the board checked his secure off-site storage unit. The board will check the storage unit. Richard will hear about the tip-off and race there to destroy the evidence before they arrive. That's where the final confrontation will happen. I logged out of the internal network for the last time. My job as Sarah Jensen was over. I was now just Isa, a woman with nothing to lose, driving towards the final, deadly rendezvous. I found the dilapidated storage unit, parked in a distant street. This was the place where Richard hid his evidence. I watched from afar. Mark, I've taken Olivia's information to the authorities. Yes, she's petitioned to freeze his account, but Richard is still out there. The storage unit was cold, metallic, and empty, a perfect cage for a predator. He arrived panicked, sweaty, expecting a file to destroy. He was so focused on the corporate theft that he never saw the moral blow coming. I was waiting for him, standing right in the middle of his illegal empire. Who are you? Where is the evidence? The board is coming. You set a trap. The board will find the evidence, Richard. But I'm not here to talk about corporate fraud. I'm here to talk about Isa. Do you remember her? The one whose career you stole? Isa? Are you Isa? This is insane. You resigned. You gave up. You ruined your own career for this pathetic revenge? Isa didn't ruin my career, Richard. You ruined it when you taught me that integrity is worthless. And yes, I ruined my life to destroy yours. But I'm like you, I'm doing it to save an innocent woman. I threw a printout onto the metal floor, the record of the offshore account and the date he planned to leave Olivia. Olivia knows everything. The transfer is blocked. You stole my livelihood, but you won't steal her stability. I gave her the data. You think this saves you? You are exposed. You committed corporate espionage. You sacrificed your entire life for this. You lose too. I lost my career 3 months ago. You are losing your career, your wife, your reputation, and possibly your freedom. We are not the same, Richard. The faint sound of sirens started in the distance. Mark had kept his word. The board and the police were minutes away. Richard knew it was over.
Please, Isa, hide the evidence. I'll pay you. I'll restore your career. We can spin this.
The payment is made. You will face the cost of your deception alone. I walked out as the sirens grew louder. I never looked back. Richard was arrested at his own storage unit, surrounded by the proof of his crimes. Justice was served. The revenge plan was complete. Isa. The storage unit was cold, metallic, and empty, a perfect cage for a predator. He arrived panicked, sweaty, expecting a file to destroy. He was so focused on the corporate theft that he never saw the moral blow coming. I was waiting for him, standing right in the middle of his illegal empire. I saved Olivia. I ruined Richard. I should have felt triumphant. But the silence was deafening. I was a hero, but I was also unemployed, professionally blacklisted, and deeply scarred. The truth is, the revenge plan worked perfectly, but it cost me more than just my career. It cost me the simple person I used to be. The price of revenge is often paid by the avenger herself.